Hello everyone, my name is Maya Phillips. I had the March puzzle. Just a disclaimer, if you hear some music in the background, I have a 1-year-old and he needs to fall asleep to Harry Styles or Taylor Swift or he doesn't sleep. So if you hear some noise, sorry about that. But I had the March puzzle, and it was comparing, it's like trying to find the size of a table, and you were comparing it, like the two different pictures, and it showed you different information, and like different objects with the table. And like growing up, I really liked puzzles. I liked trying to figure stuff out. But at the same time, like, I'm not a very visual person. I was just talking to my partner about this. Like, I really struggled in classes like geometry because, like, I'm not a very visual learner or visual person at all. So, like, when my geometry teacher would say, like, okay, picture this, it was really, really hard for me because, like, my brain just doesn't work like that. So I liked certain puzzles, but, you know, it was always frustrating for me sometimes with visual puzzles. A lot of it has to do with my ADHD, like, my brain just doesn't process things in a visual way. But with, like, algebra puzzles and math specifically, like, I liked those kinds of puzzles that I figured that felt like I could figure out, like, that I could be good at. But, I like more, like, word puzzles. Like, I love trivia, and I like crosswords. I do like Sudoku, so I have some history with solving puzzles. I generally like it. I like being able to move my brain in that way and think in that way, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so doing a puzzle and knowing that I could not get the answer is really hard. It's like almost putting yourself out there to fail, and I have like a big fear of failure, so sometimes doing puzzles is like not, it makes me angry. I'm more angry at myself if I'm not able to solve it. This particular puzzle, I felt a special pressure because in the puzzle it says like this is given to like elementary schoolers in China, and I felt like, wow, is Nevada that low in education that I can't solve a puzzle for elementary schoolers? So I felt all this pressure and this expectation on myself to be able to solve it. And it took me a long time because it is kind of a visual puzzle, and you have to be able to interpret the visual in a specific way. So I just started looking at the puzzle in as many different ways as I could, and then finally breaking it down into almost like a word problem. So solving it as in like, okay, so table minus cat plus turtle equals this number, and then table minus turtle plus cat, or whatever it was, and then figuring it out that way by like equalizing them, and then figuring out that 2 table equals this amount of number. It was like 300, and then so 1 table has to be 150. So I broke it down almost into like an algebraic word problem, and I found that that helped me a lot, and that was how I was able to solve it. But it took me a long time to get there, like a shockingly long time, and I'm like not proud of it. But I was able to solve it. But I mean, for me, like, it's really important to keep going even in times of trouble. You know, like I said, I have a son. He's gonna be 2 in January, and like, I want him to know that he can do hard things, and I say that to myself as like a mantra, like, I can do hard things, I can do hard things. And he gets frustrated very easily. Like, he has a bit of a temper, which I think all toddlers do, but I think he already is hard on himself, and I know that he learned that from me, and I don't want him to learn that from me. So I want to be able to keep trying even when it's hard, and I want to be able to fail too and show him that failure isn't what we teach it is, or isn't what we expect it is. It just helps us learn and grow and do better and be better. So that's how I felt about the puzzle. It was challenging, It was hard, but I'm motivated to do well because I want my son to be proud of me and I want to be proud of myself. And I'm most proud of myself when I'm able to keep going, even in times of trouble and even times where I feel like I'm failing. And that helps me really succeed, or feel like a success, even when I didn't actually succeed in solving the problem or the puzzle, which I did in this case. So yeah, I mean, I think this is a fun way to figure out math and to be able to visualize math and to be able to understand problems in a different way. I think it's really important to be able to make math fun, and to have puzzles that can be engaging and challenging, but you can still feel good about yourself at the end of the day if you solve them. So those are my thoughts.